feel terrible for Trey. I've been on that side of it. This league is tough, and everyone has their share of injuries, but that sucks for him.
It turns out to be a very smart move for us. The fact that we have a quarterback who's done so much for this organization already.
Just like riding a bike, yeah.
I don't think there's a more polarizing topic in the entire NFL than the Trey Lance injury. There's been many takes about whether the 49ers are in a better place or not, or what the outcome of this injury could be. What does it mean for Trey Lance's career? What does it mean for Jimmy Garoppolo's career? How will the 49ers respond to this? Do you think that they have a better opportunity to win a Super Bowl now? So much to discuss in regards to this injury, and there's a lot of takes that in my opinion are a little fucked up too. So before we get to the content, we're doing cash giveaways every Friday on my Twitter account at Mikerophone NFL. All you have to do is make sure you're followed and have my notifications on. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I can't believe I'm making another video on Trey Lance so freaking quickly, because this past weekend we made a video about the incident, and in that video I suggested that it's very difficult to determine whether or not Trey Lance is a good draft prospect or not, because he's only played a handful of games. The guy's literally only started 4 games at this point, and in week 1 versus the Chicago Bears, it was very difficult to evaluate Trey Lance's game because he was playing in the freaking rain. I mean, it is so difficult to play football in the rain, so I didn't really pay much attention to the fact that he had a tough debut against the Chicago Bears. But man, you know who's a guy that had no problem at all whatsoever completely writing off Trey Lance? Colin Cowherd. It's so funny because when Trey Lance was dating Colin Cowherd's daughter, which he was during the draft process, Colin Cowherd had this to say about him.
Trey Lance, number 3 pick. I think it's the right pick. I think he's a bigger, stronger athlete than Mac Jones. I know Trey. I like him. I think he's a really good kid. This is 6'4", 220, big arm, can run. Every scout I know, every executive I know loves this kid. Kid earned it. Couldn't be happier.
And then immediately, an outdated clip of Trey Lance at a or, with strippers in his living room. I don't know what the environment of this video is, but when that video comes out, Colin Cowherd didn't even take time to research when the video was posted. He immediately said this.
Can't complete 50% of his throws, making it rain at a strip club. It's not the NBA, man. Got 8 home games, got to win them, especially when you have a Super Bowl roster. According to the story, Twitter supported Trey Lance. Of course they do.
And we have more coming to you guys from Colin Cowherd as well, because he is not done. Wait until you see the take he had after Trey Lance got injured, because I think it's a new level of up in terms of how much this man is rooting for this guy to fail. It's almost as if Trey Lance took Baker Mayfield's spot in people that Colin Cowherd absolutely despises. So 49ers fans are pointing the blame finger in many directions in regards to Trey Lance's injury. And I don't think there's an individual that's getting more blame than Kyle Shanahan. Now, the reason why Kyle Shanahan is getting blamed so much is during that game against the Seattle Seahawks, Trey Lance ran 15 plays. 12 of them were designed quarterback runs or resulted in him scrambling, and 3 of them were passing plays. So we all know that there's one thing in the NFL that is consistent. There's one thing that we all agree on, and it's fairly unfortunate. It's the fact that running backs have the shortest lifespan in the entire NFL. It's why Deebo Samuel reportedly in the offseason didn't want to play wide back anymore, which I think was just a leverage play, if we're being honest. It's why you see running backs like DeMarco Murray lead the league in rushing in 1 year and then completely out of the league 3 years later. It's why you see so many teams hesitate in paying their star running back, because they are very prone and susceptible to injury. And look no further than Kyle Shanahan's offense, who literally has had a different leading rusher each and every season that Kyle Shanahan was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Why am I bringing this up? Well, whenever you give up multiple first-round picks to move up into the top 3 of a NFL draft draft and then draft a person with that number 3 overall pick, then spend an entire year trying to essentially replicate what the Kansas City Chiefs did with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, which, bear in mind, I see a lot of parallels in this. Jimmy Garoppolo and Alex Smith have a fairly similar play style, except for the fact that Alex Smith is significantly more mobile, and Trey Lance wears a headband like Patrick Mahomes, so clearly he's going to be the next coming of Patrick Mahomes. Jokes aside, the fact that you invested so much time in trying to develop Trey Lance for a whole season, making him sit down and watch Jimmy Garoppolo as Jimmy Garoppolo essentially led the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship and was a few throws away from actually taking them to the Super Bowl, I think it's a little ridiculous to call that many designed runs for your quarterback. Now, Kyle Shanahan defended himself by saying this.
Just because, I mean, you guys watch other teams in this league, and Buffalo does it all the time with their quarterbacks. Pretty normal play. It's part of football, and it's unfortunate that he hurt his ankle on it.
And while I do understand that Trey Lance is a mobile quarterback, ideally you don't put your quarterback in that type of situation as much as you can. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a mobile quarterback that was able to be successful past the age of 30. Maybe Randall Cunningham. I guess you could kind of make an argument for Michael Vick, but once they get to their early 30s, the wheels essentially start to fall off from all the hits that they sustained. My favorite example of this is Cam Newton. Cam Newton sustained a shoulder injury throughout his career. It affected his ability to throw the football. That's a huge reason why he washed out of the league. That and the fact that he just took horrible jobs and didn't really give himself a chance to prepare whenever he signed with brand new teams, which in my opinion was also out of control. So as a result of Trey Lance getting injured, obviously, the man that they told to take a pay cut and miraculously were able to retain his services came in and completely saved the day for the San Francisco 49ers. And the takes on this are actually insane, because the first thing you heard immediately is the fact that the Los Angeles Rams actually believe the 49ers are now a better team with Jimmy Garoppolo back as the starting QB. But apparently it's not just the Los Angeles Rams that feel this way. The reaction that Jimmy Garoppolo received once he returned to the field from his teammates was actually insane. They were so happy to see him out there. And apparently, anonymous 49ers admit that the team is better with Jimmy Garoppolo. So this is coming to us from NBCSports.com. The article says that the San Francisco 49ers already were all in on the 2022 NFL season, with second-year quarterback Trey Lance running the show, but with the 22-year-old ruled out for the season with an ankle injury and veteran Jimmy Garoppolo stepping in as the starter under center, is the team in a better position to win? A couple of 49ers teammates reportedly think so. And this is the part that no one wants to say publicly, but something several players and coaches enunciated privately in the wake of Sunday's game is the 49ers are a better team right now with Garoppolo at quarterback than they were with Trey Lance, according to Michael Silver of the San Francisco Chronicle. As two of these realists told me after the game, I can't say it, but you can. Here's the man of the hour that definitely did his research before essentially echoing that exact same take. Colin Cowherd, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's totally be honest here. Garoppolo is better now. Garoppolo fits the team now. The team's going to win now. Lance is going to continue not playing. It's not like he's going to pop back next season and suddenly will have solved his issues. He will be coming off a long stretch of inactivity. So if you're the Niners now, as a fan, you feel bad for Trey Lance, but your team's better today. I mean, the Niners today with Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, I feel confident saying, oh yeah, that's a team that can get to the NFC Championship. None of us were saying that when the day started.
I just feel like it's so lazy to just automatically assume that Trey Lance would have had a horrific season with the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, obviously, whenever a brand new quarterback starts with a brand new team and is replacing a quarterback that essentially took that team to the NFC Championship, obviously there's going to be question marks because it's already very difficult to get to the NFC Championship. So replacing your starting QB that got got you there with a relatively unproven quarterback that you've invested in his development is going to raise some eyebrows, and there is going to be challenges. I don't want to consistently draw parallels to the Chiefs when they drafted Mahomes and had him sit back behind Alex Smith, but the first time Tyreek Hill saw Patrick Mahomes, he actually thought he was horrible. I mean, it takes some time to win your teammates over, especially if they had a fairly successful season last year. Now, I could believe that the 49ers players actually think that they have a better chance at making it to the NFC Championship with Jimmy Garoppolo over Trey Lance. It's really not something that's very far-fetched, at least to me. But to make it very simple, you already know what you have in Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why you went out and drafted Trey Lance. Yeah, your floor is higher with Jimmy Garoppolo, I agree, but your ceiling is potentially significantly higher with Trey Lance. The problem is we don't know how high that ceiling is. Yeah, it sucks. He's not going to be able to be active this year, and it's definitely not going to be great for this man's development. But I don't necessarily think that Jimmy Garoppolo is an automatic upgrade over Trey Lance, because at the end of the day, there is a reason why the 49ers went out and drafted Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo has had multiple opportunities to either get the San Francisco 49ers into the Super Bowl or win the San Francisco 49ers a Super Bowl. Yes, I know 49ers fans are going to bring up the no call holding penalty from the Super Bowl versus the Kansas City Chiefs, but regardless, there have been moments where you've been depending on Jimmy Garoppolo to make a specific throw and he wasn't able to make that throw. That combined with an extensive injury history is why Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch decided to make a move at quarterback to begin with. What's going to be interesting is what the hell do you do if you're the San Francisco 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo leads your team to a Super Bowl victory? Because bear in mind, he's taking over during week 3. I mean, technically during week 2 of the regular season. So if he's able to make this push, and the 49ers, which very well could happen, they definitely do have the talent to win a Super Bowl in my opinion. If that is what ends up happening, what do you do in that instance? Do you once again just let the Super Bowl winning quarterback just run away to a brand new team as you try to develop Trey Lance? Do you trade Trey Lance after you invested so much time in his development? It's not a simple situation for the San Francisco 49ers, and things could get very interesting for the 49ers this year. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. I personally don't like the fact that people are kind of insinuating that, hey, Trey Lance is injured, yay, we're gonna be a better team now. Because while you might be a better team in the short term, I feel like investing in Trey Lance's development with the Super Bowl roster would have been the most ideal scenario. Ultimately, and thankfully, the 49ers were able to hold on to Jimmy Garoppolo for a situation like this, and as a result, they saved their season. That's how I choose to look at it. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.